what's up, Buck Junkies? We are back for another episode of the Buck Junkies Podcast. We're a man down, guys.
Yeah. I done booted him out of his spot and everything.
You done took Mark's chair over and everything. Now, he's a little under the weather today. He said he wasn't going to be able to go. So
it's not hard to do this time of year. Mississippi weather is awful in December, man. It's 70 degrees, 60 degrees, and then it'll drop off to 20.
Like this past weekend, what was it? Mid-60s on Saturday, storm, hail, and dropped down to high 20s, low 30s.
I've been fighting this crud the whole hunting season. It seems like all fall I've had sinuses or allergies. I don't know what it is, but
I had to wash my hunting clothes about every 2 weeks for the snot on the sleeves. And
well, let me ask y'all this. So, what do y'all do about coughing in stands? Do you think it messes you up? Like deer, you ain't seeing deer because of it? Because man, I've had a coughing fit in a stand before. It ain't no fun.
I mean, I don't want to do it with them in the field, but I mean, I think if they're not paying attention and you did it, as long as you didn't keep doing it, where they kind of pinpoint where you was at, I think you're all right. But
it was a company years ago that made a thing that it looked like a butt grunt,
like a cough can or something like that.
I bought one of those years ago. Hell, it didn't work for nothing, man. You can't cough in that thing like that.
Malcom had the cough can and the poop bucket.
Yeah, I had it all. If it was a gimmick, I bought it just to try it out. No, I mean, I usually carry a peppermint or a cough drop or something, a piece of gum or something just to help you a little bit. But sometimes you just can't help it. You got to let it go.
That throat gets to itching. You can't take it. Can't hold it in.
Now, I've coughed with deer out in the field and not spooked them off, but I've got a sneeze before, man, out of the clear field.
Really?
I don't know why. I don't know if I just sneeze loud or what it is.
Oh, I can't.
Those sneeze are clear.
Where you sneeze.
I ain't holding it in. I ain't trying to blow a back gasket.
If I hold that in, something got to give somewhere.
Yeah, that pressure's coming, ain't it? You might as well blow it out that nose.
You need to run the deer off field, change your underwear.
Yeah, I ain't going down like that, Mikey.
One end's making noise.
Yeah. It don't sound like no grunt sneeze or grunt wheeze either. Hit a clear field.
My pocket's usually full of hauls. My orange vest, all my hunting jackets. I got to remember to get them out at the end of the hunting season.
Yeah.
So they don't get in the dryer and melt in the pockets. But yeah, keep something in there. I always keep water with me too.
Just so you can get a drink.
Well, like James said, throat gets dry and itchy. You just take a little sip of water or something, and usually it'll get you by for a little bit.
So you talk about that and it popped up the other day. I can't remember where this guy's from. He's a wildlife biologist for some college or whatever, talking about whitetail deer and stuff. He's talking about Daddy and them used to do it. Billy Moore did it. Man, they'd carry a jug or something. They wouldn't pee in the woods.
Yeah.
And this guy's like, man, he said, does not matter what animal it is. Within 20 to 30 minutes, it all goes to just ammonia smell. Yeah. So it don't matter. He said he's literally used human pee in a scrape and got bucks fired up just as much as it did if a doe peed in it.
Yeah. I've heard that you can freshen up a scrape like that, but I had never seen it on camera work. I've tried.
I mean, I'll try.
Me and Waylon used to, every time we had one, we'd walk by every time. We'd say, there it is. Go ahead and freshen that dude up. And
I mean, if I got to go, I'll hold it long as I can. But sometimes, man, the older you get, you can't hold it.
I was going to say, the old as we are now, Jamie, I'm peeing at least 3 times out of the stand. Blood pressure medicine and all that.
Yeah. So you just out of the stand, you just turn around and climb down?
Check the field or wherever I'm at, look around, make sure ain't nothing looking, and kick the door open and
let it rip.
Try not to pee on the handrail.
So I didn't wear gloves when I get in and out of stands.
When you get to the top of the stand, you might want to let go of the handrail.
Hands-free.
There's been a few cold mornings this year. I couldn't get it all the way out there.
That's all kind of little. I don't know. Everybody's got their own thought on how that works.
Yeah.
I mean,
them old timers smoke cigarettes. They climb a tree and smoke cigarettes.
Yeah.
Not think twice about it.
I mean, I've had a doe when I was in the climbing stand. You're not coming down. So, anyways, I did have a doe one time come up and smell where I had peed out of the stand down to the base of the tree. She walked right under me, and she actually smelled where I peed at. I guess trying to figure out what had done it.
Spooked or nothing.
But she didn't spook off or anything. But I mean, it had been a while since I, had peed out of the stand, but it didn't bother her.
I think movement spooks them more than anything.
Yeah.
Because how many times have you had one come out in the field and you tell they're on alert because they're smelling something they don't quite know what it is, but then they go to looking, And if they catch a glimpse of movement, them juggers are blowing gone. But if they don't see anything, or if you're perfectly still, a lot of times they'll calm on down.
Yeah. Well, I've never been one that done the. I mean, yes, I do wash my clothes and unscented detergent, but as far as like keeping them in a special, spraying your stuff down with scent stuff and keeping them in a special bag, I've never done all that. But
you think? I mean, to me, during rifle season, I don't really see a point in it. There really ain't a point in wearing camo if you're going to sit in the blind.
That's true.
But during early season, bow season, when you're trying to catch some bucks,
15, 20 yards.
And the air currents are kind of different.
What do you say? They're different.
It's a different time hunting early fall. So yeah, you probably have to be more conscious about your scents. But
you do.
We're sitting in a box blind. I mean, I don't think it matters as much. I mean,
that location too. You think like if you're around a farm or agriculture where people, equipment, tractors all the time, they're less noticeable. Now, if you go off in a 2 miles back in the woods and you're in a
there hadn't been any human scent.
You better be scent free as possible to do that.
Yeah, I think they know when when you infiltrate their area, like Jamie was saying, it's if they smell a human being out there where they hadn't smelled one before, they go on alert, or they spook. But like they're up, like at my house. I mean, I could step out on the porch, wind be blowing right down on the deer standing in the yard. They're not spooked by
They might look up, but they ain't gonna. But
they're they're used to being around.
Smell.
Well, I mean, you got a septic tank in the yard. And, all that stuff, and us, all over the yard. And then they come out, right before dark. We've been all over the yard, and they're not spooked there. But I think if you got over in their area, and they smelled you over in there, then it's a little different story.
What's more important, that scent control or always being aware of the wind?
I mean, I'm always aware of the wind. I don't want my wind blowing across where I think the deer are going to come from.
That'll stop me from going to get in a stand.
Yeah.
Like, I won't go to certain stands if I know. I'll look at the wind first.
And that's one of the biggest things. Well, I'm not so much concerned about scent control because, making sure that your stand is set where if your wind is coming, just say out of the north, everything south of you, either that's the way you came in or you don't really expect a whole lot of deer to come from that way, if any. And, most of your deer is going to be east, west, and north of you. But, that's if you're hunting in an area where you're in the middle of the woods or something like that, you just kind of throwing caution to the wind there because deer come all around you,
Well, do you not hunt certain stands just because of the wind? I
do. I mean, because, I like to say that, we talked about this the other day, about the deer moving with the wind. That's not so much true.
Yeah, I'd say that's a myth because
it is.
Deer's got to turn around and go back.
Yeah,
I've seen them come from all directions when because wind changes too. I mean, it's the wind makes it's challenging. It's probably the hardest thing, more so than the cold to me.
I think a lot of I think you're smarter. Older deer probably may try to do that at some point, depending on where they're moving through or what they're looking for. If they feel like they're moving through some kind of an area where they might smell something or trying to win something, they may move in the wind a certain way. But, most of the time, I think they just, they know the paths they need to take. And if it's coming in from downwind, this is what they're going to do that day because they need to get back to bed or get to wherever they're going. So,
well, then you're going to get your buck checking scrapes. They're going to get downwind of that scrape. And if that scrape's behind you, you're busted.
I mean, the other day I had deer come in. I mean, they were coming in from straight downwind of me.
I've seen it happen multiple times.
Yes, it was 3 weeks ago. I hunted with Daddy, and I seen 15 total deer that day, and none of them come from the same direction.
Yeah,
they was all. I had just a minute come from downwind, which I did have one doe. She smelt where I stood there, put my climber. She was like literally under the stand where I put my climber stand on, and she stomped and blew, but she didn't. She didn't break and run. She kind of eased off, but.
Yeah, I never did. Monday when I hunted, we had a southeast wind. I never had a deer come from the southeast. I had all the does I had come through came from the northwest with the wind in their face.
So I think that depends on if they feed all night or it's a different moon phase and they feed at night and they're trying to get back to their bedding area in the morning and they are going into the wind or across the wind versus going with it.
Yeah, and both bucks were walking on a crosswind that I seen. They weren't walking with the wind. They wasn't walking against the wind. It was kind of blowing across, one way or the other of them. So, you know, they were moving in a crosswind, and both of them, you know, one went behind me, one went in front of me, you know, so they.
So you can't say they always follow
No.
the wind or go downwind.
No. I mean, I tried to play that factor into, you know, where I'm a hunt and stuff like that, and it does work. I mean, it helps, but it's not always 100%, you know, effective.
Well, something has blowed them off, I think. I mean, I've been talked about 4 different guys, and all of them is like, the past week and a half been pretty much dead. It ain't nothing.
It's dead.
moving.
I mean,
cameras ain't doing nothing.
I mean, it's dead right now. Several, like you said, I mean, I've talked to several buddies of mine, you know, and that's what they were saying. You know, it's a week or so ago, you know, they were seeing a little bit of rutting activity, and now it's just nothing. You know, cameras dried up, you know, fields dried up, not a whole lot of deer moving around. And we see that here now. I mean, I've seen a few deer the other day, but, you know, it was freaking in the middle of the day. I mean, it was 11 o'clock before I started. Well, it was 9 o'clock before I started seeing deer. And then it was on up into, you know, around 11 o'clock before I finally just got out of the stand, but I was still seeing deer, but we had to go. So
I think it's because of the weather we had last week.
yeah,
Like it should have been peak rut, and the weather went and flopped on us, and it got hot again. It just threw them off. So we had like 3 or 4 days, and that was while you were down there doing the handicap hunt. I know y'all saw it.
Yeah.
But it just shut down. I sat in the stand last Thursday from 30 minutes before daylight till about 11 o'clock, and I got down for a minute and got back in the stand at 1 o'clock and sat there till dark, and I think I saw 5 or 6 deer, which is unusual for sitting that long.
yeah.
And I had a couple of bucks chasing, but they weren't, you know, it wasn't hot and heavy like I would say a good rut hunt would be.
Yeah,
So
I don't
and
know
then the
that
next
we've
day,
seen that yet.
we didn't get skunked that night. We sat together. We saw 1 deer,
One deer.
which was very unusual. And then I think, didn't you hunt the next day too, or y'all came back and hunted that Sunday, didn't you?
No, I come back
Just
that
for a
Sunday
minute,
night. We
yeah.
left on Saturday morning.
But then Monday, the front came through,
yeah,
and the weather shifted, and now the cameras have picked back up, and the bucks are up moving, checking scrapes again. I don't know if it's the rain came through, and then, you know, they had to come back and freshen everything up, or them both bucks are coming back. I'm pretty sure we got a picture of that one that Mark saw. He's done busted off a brow tine.
I seen a decent deer on camera.
He looks
It
like
wasn't
an
no
8
big deer.
point. I couldn't tell if it's the exact one he had a little video of, but he was up moving around. There's been several other young bucks out back moving around, but what I've seen the most is coyote.
Yeah,
Man, they are on the move around here. I mean, every day we're seeing them on different cameras. And I ended up shooting one last Thursday morning. That's the only thing I shot over the weekend was another coyote, but I don't know if we can put the hurt on them. It seems like you kill 2, there's 4 to replace them.
That's what I was talking to Darren. You know, they killed a bunch of hogs at Hardin Point, and since then, he said, coyote has just gone rampant since then. He said, don't know if the hogs kept them pushed out, but they actually got a guy hired to come in.
Do some trapping?
He's going to trap and kill and try to get all he can out.
we're probably gonna have to do that this year too. Is, you know, we got a friend of ours that hires a guy to do it over here on their property, so may touch base with him and see if we can't split the bill with him and tell him, here, you can just come across the street and start trapping over here too. Because I mean, sitting out there trying to shoot the coyotes is that's time consuming and not very efficient, you know. But trapping is. So
Yeah.
That's what he was. The coons, you know, the coons and coyotes both are done got just out of hand.
Well, how would you you're never going to get rid of all of them, but what's an acceptable amount to be seeing on your property? Say if you got 200 or 300 acres, something like that, because I have no idea.
I don't know. I mean, because they're pack animals. So I mean, you're talking about
If you got 2, they're going to be breeding. And,
I mean, 15 or 20 in a wad of them.
Yeah. I've never seen that many. Man, I guess the most I've ever seen, maybe 3.
No, I've seen.
Y'all seen it?
I've seen at the house. I've seen 8 and 10, and
Really, a pack?
several different times.
Yeah, I've seen them down in the Delta and out where I grew up at. You know, there's big cow patches kind of like we got around here, and you shine the light out in the pastures. You know, you hear them hooping right there close to the house, and oh man, it was a bunch of them.
As far as hunting, I'm usually the most I've seen, like run through the woods or something like that, would be 4 at one time. But when they're doing that, you can't hardly they're covering ground. It's hard to get a shot at one.
Oh, you had one blow through you the other day.
2 of them.
There was 2 together.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, they were paired up. I don't know what they were after, but they were moving around. They were kind of coming across where all them deer came across. I don't
They
think
run
were
the same
hunting.
trails.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where I'm seeing them on cameras. I mean, we've got cameras still on scrapes, just trying to see what's going on, and that's where I'm seeing the coyote.
Yeah.
They're checking scrapes just like deer do, and a lot of times it's within 30 minutes.
We had one of the cameras last week. I saw it was the coyote
right
there
after,
by.
and then right after one of the coyotes was a big bobcat. I mean, so everything's coming through there.
And you got to try to maintain your, predators as much as possible. I mean, they're not really dragging down too many deer. Not the coyotes. They'll catch them fawns and stuff like that. But still, I mean, a good pack of them though.
Oh yeah.
There ain't no telling what they'll do.
Run down.
Getting your
If
turkey.
they're hungry enough, they'll do
your turkeys
whatever.
are down. Your rabbit's gonna be down. It's gonna change everything up.
I hadn't seen them do it. Daddy and them were hunting in the Delta one time. They were rabbit hunting, and all of a sudden the dogs come out of the thicket running across the rice field. And there's several 100 yards, and of course they got shotguns. Well, it was a pack of coyotes behind the dogs. They ran the dogs out. Dogs were running from them. Well, they caught 2 rabbit dogs.
Coyotes did?
Yeah, caught them, killed them, and eat them, or run off with them.
Yeah.
So you never know if they're starving to death. They'll do just about anything.
Man, that's a hunt I want to go on. It's a guy on TikTok that does coyote hunting. Now, I think it's Indiana where he's from, but they use the greyhounds. Man, I want to go do that so bad.
I've seen videos where they're running out across pastures and they'll just turn them dudes out while their truck's still rolling.
Yeah.
They got something
and
they
a
can.
greyhound will flat out catch a coyote and kill it.
When they hit the ground, they are gone.
I say that's a hunt. I don't care if I could go free or if I had to pay. I would love to go on one of them.
I got a dog at home who'll do it.
Take out.
Heck yeah. If he see the coyote, he'll go after it.
You think he'd kill it?
No. When they start fighting, he's out. You better shoot him.
We just call him quits.
He's going to be like old John on Jerry Clyde, shoot this thing.
So, got to have some relief.
But he will chase it and run it down. They get to fight, and he's probably done with it.
That's totally different up there than what our coyotes are, though. Like we don't.
Bigger? Or
I don't know if it's bigger or just, I guess, because it's more open field. You see them a whole lot more than you do here, I guess. But
it seems like this year, I'm seeing more this year than I have any year. And I thought we did a good job on them last year.
What?
We don't let too many of them walk.
I mean, you think about the population of them, or how they breed. I mean, they're just like a dog. So, 6.
They say if you take some out, another one comes in and replaces that for territory.
It triggers them. I've heard that. Triggers them into heat.
Yeah, it's like a never-ending cycle.
Because they got to keep their pack up. Yeah. I don't know how many they trapped over on Chuck's place last year, but he had a guy come out, and I think it was close to 20.
Yeah, I mean, that's the same coyotes on running.
Yeah, because they're covering. I mean, they can cover so much ground, but when you're surrounded by big tracts, especially all the cattle farm, I mean, there's going to be coyotes.
Yeah,
we just happen to have a main ditch that they like to run, and it's a dry ditch unless there's a big rain, so it's just a highway for them.
Yeah, that's an easy travel corridor for them to run up and down and not be seen, and be able just to step up out of that ditch and be right on a edge of a field, or somewhere where they can catch something moving around the edge of the field. They don't have to pounce across, run across a wide open field to get to wherever they're going. So that makes a big difference too.
What's our count up to down here? 4
coyotes this year.
No, yeah, coyotes and deer. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're at 4 on deer. I think we got to 4 coyotes now, and 2 bobcats.
Yeah,
We're slow too this year.
Been a slow year.
that's all right. Well, we ain't shooting as many does this year either. Though. I mean, we kind of backed off that.
We still got to take a couple more out, a few more. We'd like to take out two or three bucks maybe. I think there's a couple we've seen that
We still got a couple that's running around that
mature enough
to shoot, just getting eyes on them. It's a hard time right now. They're not going in front of the cameras. We're not seeing them either. So I don't know what they're doing. I think a lot of it has to do, that old man kind of back north of us passed away that had that 200 acres. And they let that whole place it's just grown up into a thicket.
Yeah.
I think it's holding a lot of our deer back over there. That's a new ground that nobody's on, nobody's messing with it. Mm-hmm. So I think it's holding a lot of deer over there, and I think that's a lot where I think, this is my theory, but I think some of our more mature bucks are kind of over there. They lay out in the field and breed does and ain't got to go real far because everybody's over there. They may be feeding on our place at night.
Yeah.
But they're going back over there staying instead of where they normally would have kind of stayed on our place a little bit.
Straight line, you're probably not, half, 3/4 mile at the most, probably straight line.
You can walk to that very far north corner and you can throw a rock and hit it.
Yeah, it ain't far.
It's across the ditch, right?
You got to cross the ditch.
Yeah, but
the ditch does not stop a deer. There's so many trails, and I've jumped so many coming up, just riding alongside it.
When I hunted Heartbreak Ridge the other day, that's where, all of them but one deer came from. Was off that far north corner.
Walking the tree line or coming through the pines?
Catty cornered the food plot, come across it and went
across. Cut the back of it?
Yep.
Yeah.
That little area has been pretty hot this year, and that might be why. North.
The fields ain't nothing but grass and pigweed and ragweed and stuff like that. You walk out there and deer, they're just gonna lay out there in that junk.
They got to run. Yeah,
that's the same thing we was talking about this past weekend at physically challenged hunt. You got 10,000 acre lake out there that's nothing but brush and grass and weeds. That's where how many deer staying in it now.
Yeah,
he got everything. He got eat, drink, everything. Never take a step out of it.
Yeah, when they start getting pressured there, go somewhere where they know they're safe. So
y'all had round 2 of the physically challenged hunt last weekend. How'd that go?
Man, deer was kind of slow. They were seeing deer, but it was most of them were chasing does, and it's with some of their disabilities they got or limitations on getting a gun. It's you got to be on point to get a gun out the window to get on them. But we ended up between the 2 weekends, I think it was a total of 27
total deer.
Yeah, total deer shot, which is actually probably I don't know what we killed last year, but it's definitely down.
What do you have any idea what the quota is? Did you ever ask those rangers?
I got to ask Rob what they was kind of going for.
Because who mandates that? The state, their biologist or something?
Yeah, I guess they get a biologist to come in and say, we got X amount of deer on this acreage that we need to keep it at this level to keep it safe, keep a healthy herd.
So did Rob ever talk about not to get off of the handicap hunt, we'll come back to it, but talking about population control, if they don't meet their quota, do they just go on and not worry about it, or do they try to have another special hunt?
I don't know if you can do an archery draw.
Yeah, I know they did archery draw hunts.
That's for anybody can put in for the draw.
And I think that if I understand, I might be totally wrong, but I don't know if they do another draw hunt later on in the year
until they meet that.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think they come in to. I don't know if you call it like just
eradication or something.
I don't think they do nothing like that because they're trying to make sure CWD is good and check the age of deer and all that kind of stuff. So I think they might do a second draw maybe.
It probably is really tough. Because what did we say? 40,000 acres? Is that what Barker Butler is?
I can't remember. We talked about it down there the other day with one of the rangers. I was blown away the acreages of water and woods between Enid, Sardis, and Barker Butler. It's way, way, way more than I ever thought it was.
I think it's 42,000 acres, something like that.
The total land,
total,
including the lake.
Yeah, the whole area, inside that lake boundary there.
Stuff, yeah.
I don't know that includes the actual park itself. I'm sure the park's probably a couple thousand acres down there itself. But just the national, what they consider the lake area where you can hunt and fish, recreational area.
Where do you find out about these draw hunts they do? Because I've never seen anything posted. Do they do it on
a lot of them they posted on I know they got a youth squirrel hunt coming up, and I know they post that stuff on the Core Facebook page because they do a youth squirrel hunt and a youth coon hunt. I know, and then they do a youth duck hunt also.
I wonder if that youth duck hunt's at the end of the season.
I can't remember, Steve. I can't remember. It's usually a pretty dang good hunt.
They gonna have to hunt in the blue hole because there ain't no water out there.
Where they gonna hunt at?
Hope for rain.
Everybody's gonna be trying to sitting in them rocks.
They may have a flooded field. Do you know where the blinds are? Or
it's so some of the stands we got's on that back bottom. It is a blinds net, but I don't know if that's where they do the.
Is there any water back there?
Yeah, I don't know if they do the youth hunt there or not. But if it do, it's jam up the way it looks. It looks dang good in there.
I know there used to be a bunch of little cypress sloughs back in there. They got there's water inside those woods that you don't see.
Still got water.
Creeks run up through there.
Yeah, because there's a drainage ditch that comes off, where the blue hole or what we call blue hole, emergency spillway runoff is. It runs down through a man-made ditch on down, and then it goes under the road, and then it breaks off. It kind of branches off one ditch goes out towards kind of the delta this way, and one kind of loops all the way back around and goes back in the park and goes all the way back to the river over there where the
the main spillway
the main spillway.
Yeah.
So that Elbow Creek ditch or whatever, that ditch runs. That's one of the ditches that runs from up there by the Blue Hole. And there's places in there where the beavers have it dammed or something like that, and it'll be, pretty good little piece of water back in there.
Several acres anyway.
I mean, but yeah, it's just a wide ditch that'll run down through the woods for a long ways.
Yeah, that's Wood Duck Central right there.
Yeah.
That must be that ditch, because one of the guys shot a deer. They actually got over in the water. We had to get the boat and go out there and get the deer out.
Yeah, so we used to fish those a lot. When the Mercy Spillway overflows, if it overflows, those fish come out of the lake and they get trapped in those ditches is what happens. So then you can go back up in there. You can fish all up through them woods,
That used to be my number one gar hole before they redid that they turned it into a handicap fishing area at one time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But before that, back when I was in high school and younger, that was old, man, you could go down there. It was a gar hole.
Buy some cheap spinner baits.
Wrestle the big old alligator gar.
We've done that a couple times.
It's pretty fun.
So is that it on the handicap hunt, or will they try to run another weekend of that if they don't meet quota? No.
The physical challenge hunt's just the first 2 weekends in December. Do
your guys get a deer?
Yeah, we had so it's kind of two guys that everybody was really pulling for. I mean, granted, they want everybody to have a good time and get a shot at deer, but it's young man Buck McCullough. Honestly, I would say he's early 30s, late 20s probably, and I think he's 100% blind. And his dad was with him. He finally got on deer. He ended up killing 2 does, and that was, man, I'm talking about, you'd have thought. I mean, everybody at the whole camp was pumped up on that. And then our other buddy Keith, he got out there, and Seth Wooten carried him to his farm. He got to kill a deer out there with Seth during the week. So Keith stayed the whole week.
He didn't go home.
No, he's from Texarkana. He stayed the whole week. And then the last day, Sunday, that afternoon, he killed 2 does. So between them two, that was kind of like the highlight to me of the whole 2 weeks. But no, I don't know. I get more out of it than I can ever put back in it. And that's what me and Brad Ward hit my buddy. He went with me this year, and he's like, man, now I know why you done it. He said, it's just, man, all them guys sit around, and most of them are pretty diehard on killing deer and hunting. They're all tougher than me. Them something they're sitting in a wheelchair or mobile chair or something. Daylight's dark, a lot of them, and they're tougher. They're a whole lot tougher than I am. But Brad said it reminded him of what old school deer camp used to be. I mean, we had a huge fire pit. We got the new building. It's got the kitchen in it, and it was guys all day sitting out there all the way up to 10 o'clock at night. And they told stories, and heck, some of them were probably lies, some of them were funny, but it was like, I don't know, you just got the feeling and the friendship and camaraderie of what deer camp used to be, and it's just, man, I don't know how to explain it. Once you do it, you're hooked. I'm fired up. I'm already ready. I'm trying to get some information on one of the Hope Outdoor hunts. I'm wanting to go on it at the end of January. But it's worth doing. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I was wore out, but it's worth doing.
Yeah, because you were there all weekend, right?
Yeah, me and Brad would get down there on Thursday and stay till Sunday, and you're going to bed at 9, 10 o'clock at night and getting back up at, me and Brad was sleeping as long as we could. We was getting up about 4:15, 4:30, but like Keith, he said it takes him so long to get ready. He gets up at 2 o'clock. So, wow. It takes him an hour and a half, 2 hours to get ready, get in his chair, get up there, get his breakfast, and then we start, getting them all in side-by-sides and trucks and getting them out.
I'd be dozing off. I ain't gonna lie. I got up in that stand. If wasn't nothing happening, I'd be nodding.
So what'd you do while they hunt?
That's what, when you get back, so we usually, the rangers, all the guys that volunteer and to help, that's usually when we get, after we drop them all off in the stand in the morning, that's when we come back, we eat breakfast. Mm-hmm. And you're sitting there and you're like, man, it's got to be like, it's almost lunchtime. It's got to be. You look down, it'll be like 8:45, 9 o'clock, 9:30. Man, it is long.
So it drags. If you're not in the stand, it's just dragging by.
So we usually go out somewhere between 11 and 12ish and get the people out that want to come out. And then
do they like text you and let you know, or do you just go check on them? Or
yeah, most of them we find out if we don't forget that morning. Like, hey, you want to come out at lunch? You want us to bring you lunch? You want to hunt all day? But this year, man, I don't know what the heck. It was something bad going on. Nobody had phone service down there hardly. The phone service was horrible. It didn't matter what name brand phone. It was bad. But yeah, they could, some areas you could text, and you text us, hey, I shot a deer or whatever. I think I hit a deer, and you could coordinate back and forth with them that way.
You go on and do some deer drives for them. Just tell them get the gun out the window.
It was about to get to the point. Man, like I say, they were seeing some deer, but the last couple of days it slowed down a lot. We was about to the point where that did cross our mind. Let's run them out on them. But
let's put them on the side by sides, get them some, prop the guns up. Sit right here. We're gonna drive this thicket real quick.
But we had it was two pretty good bucks killed. One was, like I say, it was a pretty good deer, and it was a couple of smaller bucks, and the rest of them mostly does. But
they test all those for CWD.
Yeah, they do a jawbone for age and lymph nodes, and I ain't figured that out yet. I can't age a deer, but the lymph nodes is like sometimes you can cut them out, and go right to them. And the next time, man, it's I don't know if all of them don't have them. They different locations. What they're not as easy to find.
Where do they cut in?
Just right under the chin,
right where you take the jawbone, where you split the jawbone, right back in there.
Pretty much cut the throat on it and get reach in there and get it out.
Is it on each side?
Mm-hmm.
I never tried to take one out.
It ain't. Like I say, sometimes you can find it right off the bat, and sometimes you kind of got to dig around to find it. But I can tell you what, Joey and David, joke there. I don't know how many deer they dressed, but Joey's half freaking Indian. He can track something. He can track a deer off concrete parking lot, I think. But
did they have to put track jobs on a lot of those deer y'all shot?
We had one we tracked, and we never did find. We just found a couple of drops of blood. That was the first weekend. This past hunt, I guess all the ones that were killed was pretty much right there in a food plot or field, or just went a little bit ways.
So
it was no big search and rescue for none of them.
Yeah.
No, we had a good time. You're definitely not gonna go hungry. That's why I told them. I was kind of like we talked about down here. All the rangers break up and got teams, so they kind of got a little competition. Whichever team kills most amount of deer. I was like, that's what we need to do. We need to get all the hunters and volunteers for each team and weigh them when we get here, and then weigh them on Sunday when you leave, and that's who wins. Whoever gains the most weight on the team.
What, y'all cook steaks again?
So yeah, the Ribeye Wrangler guys, they come down again, done steaks again Saturday night, and they fried some real good fish on Friday. I was there. I didn't get to make the Saturday night meal, but Friday night they fried fish. That was real good too. No, you eat up some groceries down there. Miss Lisa and her kitchen crew, them women and men in there don't play.
Me and Mikey, we cooked some good backstrap the other night.
Yeah, we come in. We didn't have nothing thawed out.
We had no plans for dinner whatsoever.
No plans. So we come in. We dug through the freezer in there, and gosh almighty,
yeah,
I didn't realize how much stuff we had in there. Anyways, got digging through there and found was it a deer tenderloin or was it one of the?
It was a fallow. It was some of that fallow deer I killed out in Texas last year.
So we found one of those small
piece of backstrap.
The smallest piece of meat we could get thawed. yeah. For us to eat dinner. So we thawed that thing out. It didn't take long. We put it in a bowl of water, got it thawed out. But I mean, we didn't really season hardly at all or nothing.
I used one of those Big Daddy Hinkles or whatever it's called, marinade kits.
Yeah.
It was something I'd had in the pantry. It was like one packet of dry seasoning and one packet of wet seasoning. That's all that was on them. And then
taste, texture, flavor from
you can't tell the difference.
Fallow to whitetail.
Yeah, it ain't much difference. I couldn't tell.
I didn't. Yeah, I mean,
I couldn't tell the difference.
I couldn't either. But
it's real close to whitetail. I mean, it's protein fed fallow, so they've been eating the same thing the whitetail have out there on that ranch.
So you got them back. Me and Mikey seen them.
Yeah, I got those mounts back last weekend.
That fallow deer looks pretty cool.
That one's going over the bed in there if we can figure out how to get it on the wall. That's
what I told Rochelle earlier. So we finna add on for the game room.
We didn't take that into account when we built the cabin. We didn't know we was going to put all those mounts and stuff in there.
On the walls.
Should have built the ceilings higher.
That's a good thing to have, though. You got a problem trying to figure out where to put the mounts at.
Yeah.
So a fallow deer, do you count points on? I mean, it culminates out so much. So I don't know if you. How do you count?
I don't know how to score a fallow because if it goes on to points or if it goes on I'm sure they've got a scoring system for it because it's got paddles almost.
I mean, I would think it's the same. I mean, you're counting, actual points on them. I mean, and then, circumference measurements and all that stuff. So it should be the same measurement of bone, as it is for
if it's palmated out, how do you measure from the tip to your center? You still measure from the tip to the center line of the beam, I guess, or how does that work?
I don't know on that.
Yeah, no, that might be different.
Yeah.
But it's almost
maybe
like
it's
moose
not.
paddles. Yeah, that's what it kind of looks like. The way it's.
It kind of looks like a miniature or smaller version.
Yeah, it's
of
like a cross between a moose and an elk.
Because I wonder how they measure, a moose.
Just got it.
I mean, all I know, just go shoot us a moose and we'll figure out
how to measure it. Figure it out.
I ain't got.
I don't know what he scores. He's delicious. That's all I know.
Yeah.
We wrapped them up. We bought you know how you do the poppers when you do the cream cheese and a piece of jalapeno. Well, we found this cream cheese with jalapeno in it. It comes in a little tub. Yeah, man, you talk about scooping that out and doing roll-ups is so much easier.
It's fast.
Think about that.
It's fast.
You're ruining the tub. You're not going to reuse it because you're reusing the spoon.
Yeah, you got to use the whole tub.
You just smear it on it with the spoon. Just keep smearing it. Keep smearing
it. Heat
and get all of it. Well, we took a can. I found
a
can of sliced jalapenos in the pantry. And it was the long slices, not circles. So we laid a piece of that on there on top of that cream cheese, and it was those good kind of with the little escabeche vegetables and the carrots,
and the quinta or something like that. It's the one. It's the one. Yeah, the ones in the can, the real good ones.
They're real good.
Carrots and onions.
But man, it was. We threw them on a pellet grill. Them jokers are good. We found some taters in the pantry. We got the French fry cutter out. Made some.
We was scratching for dinner.
Oh yeah. It worked though. It worked.
Got the old tater cutter out. We got a French fry cutter down here, so you just lay that old tater in there. It's got a big long handle. It's about like a wood splitter. You grab it, and jack it over, and when you do, it spits out the fries out the other end. But
that makes some good French fries.
And they're good. Double fried.
You fry them for about 2 or 3 minutes. Leave them down in there. Just let them start to get a little color. Pull them out, drain them, let them sit for a minute.
Drop them back,
and then drop them back in and let them go till they turn the color you want. Man, they're good. See.
Don't let me forget that fry cutter. I'm gonna take it with me to West Point.
Yeah. See, I like fries with the skin on them.
I do too.
Yeah.
So I don't know if when you're cutting fries, we had some big old bacon taters that we done in there because it was kind of hard.
Yeah. It was all it fit in
tough.
there.
It was all that would fit in there. So you had a bunch of the middle ones that didn't have no skin on except for on the tips, but. Those outside little sliver pieces and stuff that had the skin.
That's the ones I like.
It reminded me of, have y'all ever had the old Steak Escape?
Yep.
Like they give you the cup of fries. That's what these were like. Or Five Guys.
Yeah, Five Guys.
Yeah.
Five Guys got some dang good French fries.
They cut their taters right there before they fry them.
Yeah, I like them homemade potatoes. French fries, whatever you call them.
Mm-hmm.
So what's on tap? You going to be able to hunt this weekend? You're going to be working?
I don't know. I got a funeral deal to go to Wednesday, so I don't know yet. I think it's like at 2. I might try to sneak off early or go hunt that morning and come back at lunch.
It ought to be prime. I think we got a chance of rain Saturday afternoon, but everything else ought to be good. Cold in the mornings and warming up to about 60 in the afternoons.
Hey, I think the weekend's going to be good here.
Yeah.
Both y'all be gone, won't you?
Yeah, we're fixing to jump in the truck and ride down to Mossy Oak and do a little filming with them. I've got to do for some of their gamekeeper butchery stuff. They want me to do a few recipes like I did a couple years ago, but I'm going to do a fried gator sirloin po' boy. And then I got to do some elk tomahawks.
I mean, you can bring some of that back now.
Yeah, and then I'm going to do some wild boar, probably make a sausage with it, and then maybe make a breakfast casserole or some kind of breakfast dish or something like that. So I had never made an alligator po' boy, but it can't be bad. I've done shrimp and crawfish, oyster.
Oh, we'll knock it out.
Catfish, yeah. So it can't be too hard. Alligator about the same.
We'll fry a few test pieces and make sure it's all right.
Yeah, make sure it's all right.
Make sure it's all right. All the way before they turn the cameras on.
Yeah, I didn't know I was going to get to go. This was like it was a spontaneous call. They said, you up for it? And I said, heck yeah, I'll be there. I don't like to leave during the rut, but maybe I can slip in one of their trees down there. What do you think, Mikey?
Yeah. They better not give us the green light on nothing. As slow as it is up here.
Yeah, that's right. We might be looking for one.
Was it this time of year you went before? It was earlier.
It was.
I can't remember.
I think it was about the same time of year. That was before COVID.
I think that long ago. Yeah. I thought like 2 or 3 years ago. Might have been though.
No, I think it was before COVID. It's been a minute.
I might try to go. I got to help Daddy with some stuff at the house, and other than that, yeah, I might try to get off.
The next week it's going to be game on. School's out.
Works out.
We got a Christmas party. Tuesday night?
Yep.
Tuesday night.
We can hunt every other day. So
if anybody needs to make a order for barbecue season, go ahead.
Yeah, I better get it in.
Me and Mark this week.
That's right. If you need the Buck Junkies gear for your Christmas presents too, we can get it shipped out next week. Then we can't guarantee. We can ship it, but I can't guarantee you.
Heck no. They're going to get it there. Messed up. You'll be lucky if you get it by New Year's.
If it ain't shipping by next Monday, you can probably hang it up. But you can go in the shop. If you're in Hernando, you can stop by. We got the Buck Junkie stuff in the shop too.
Man, I gave out a hoodie to a guy down there this weekend, and you would have thought it was gold plated. Man, that guy was just as happy as all get out.
Yeah,
that'd be interesting to get one of those guys on the podcast and get from their perspective on how the.
I actually talked to Keith yesterday. He just got home and he's coming through. I want to say, I think January 25th, 26th to Hope Outdoors hunt down in what I tell you, Marion County, Mississippi, which is
south of here, right?
Yeah, Tyler. I think it's in between Tylertown and maybe Philadelphia or Scuba. It might be down that way. It's probably about 4 hours from here.
I've heard of it.
If we got him on podcast, we couldn't do it in an hour. It'd be one of them 2 hour podcasts.
Be a long one.
It would. Keith, he is absolutely hilarious to listen to talk. He can tell some stories, and he's a good guy.
We have had some locals on the board. I saw who was it from Eudora?
Oh, yeah, I saw that this morning.
Yeah, that was on. Somebody put that on the Facebook page.
Oh yeah, Colston. Yeah, he a buddy of mine's son. He shot a buck the other day, and his
was that his first one or
no? No, he went out after that storm hunting and wound up. I guess she was chasing the buck was chasing the doe, and he was up on his feet walking around doing. I don't know if he was. I thought said he might have been squirrel hunting, and just happened to walk up on the deer or seen the deer run through the woods or whatever. So he had to he shot him with a shotgun.
Shot him with a shotgun?
Yeah, I think he had a slug in his pocket.
Oh, there you go.
I mean, that's how a lot of guys I used to rabbit hunt with, and at deer season, they carry, a slug or buckshot, in their shotgun if they did see a deer. Or
walking tickets.
Yeah, if they had a dog that happened to run a deer.
Y'all ever killed one at Blaze rabbit hunting?
Heck, no, you better not shoot no deer in front of daddy's dogs.
Oh, really?
That's the ultimate no-no.
They don't want the dogs to get on them.
Which we've never really, in all honesty.
Never seen one big enough to shoot. Michael would have killed it.
Really?
Took that ass shooting.
We never really had our dogs mess with deer at all. Now, we was down in Shelby, Mississippi hunting, and that's something there had been 150, 160 inch deer, and our dogs they run from me to you and barked at it, and it raised up, and it was probably, I could have killed it with 6 shot. I was so close to it. And I ain't gonna lie, it was hard to hold back on that deer. It had been the biggest deer I ever killed.
Well, how come you didn't?
I just can't do it. Can't shoot. We ain't never shot.
Man, I'd unload.
Well, the guy's land we was on.
You didn't have permission to kill a deer?
Oh, when we got back to the truck, he walked up about time the deer run off, and he was mad at me for not shooting it. But I'm like, man, I didn't know, but I didn't want to shoot it in front of the dog. We'd had to whoop them off of it.
Yeah,
that'd have been hard to pull back on.
So we got a little something we're gonna try to work on. Our buddy John Hoggart, his son's wanting to get into this video, and I've
seen some of his videos. He does a good job for a kid.
I say it's gonna be probably Malcolm and Tyler. It ain't gonna be Jamie. Jamie's not inclined enough to do it, but get him on some cameras and learn, kind of get a little down different editing ideas on how to do it, and I think it'd be pretty cool.
I like seeing those kids get involved in it, man. And he's doing some good stuff.
Yeah, because
I saw one he's shooting a 50 caliber. I'm looking at this. His daddy got a Barrett 50 caliber?
Yeah, John's got a 50 cal.
Man, he totaled it. It didn't phase him.
No, that's what I was talking to John the other day because his son.
He ain't been about 11, is he? 11 or 12?
He's probably, Abby's 16. He's probably 14, 15.
Okay, I don't know he's that old.
Yeah, I couldn't remember
yeah, John, I think so. Yeah. He's a year or two younger than Abby. But he's real quiet, But John said, like on camera, I've only watched that one video, but he said he does pretty dang good for.
What's his YouTube channel? Do you remember? Hogger Brothers.
Might be. I think it is.
Hogger Brothers Outdoors or something like that.
I hope
he'll have his little brothers on there every once in a while. They're usually hunting. What do they call it? Monster buck.
Yeah.
He's like hunting this monster buck.
I'm anxious to see what he does and where it goes, and
like
I say if we can help him out, we're all down for it.
Heck yeah, we need some little buck junkies. That's right. What's the contest doing? We still getting some pictures and stuff submitted?
We're still getting a few. We got another week or so till
we'll
Christmas.
Run it till right after Christmas.
Yeah, once we go on that Christmas break, we'll go through everything and look to see who won, and that following podcast after Christmas, we'll announce the winner.
So it's interesting or best trail cam picks, and then or deer camp picture of a deer camp. It's meal or recipe or something.
It's 3, so it's your most unique or biggest harvested deer, and then it's your trail cam picks is a completely different one.
Okay,
and then your
so it's 3 contests.
It's 3 of them.
Okay, so unique pick, your best harvested deer, and a recipe, and or because it could be either or. You don't have to do all 3. We're just giving away some stuff, so.
Yeah, but you can enter all 3.
You can enter all 3.
It's open for whoever.
Can you put multiple entries in if you want to?
Yeah.
Why not?
Why not? It ain't limited to 1.
No, we're just sharing them. They're just going on our Facebook page, right? That's the goal, Tyler. So we will share those picks, and if you got any kids or anybody that gets on the board and y'all want to share it with us, let us see it, man. Post it, send it to us, and we'll put it on the Facebook page so everybody can see it and congratulate you.
Yeah, I'm finna load Tyler down.
We ain't judging here. We meat eaters, so
no. We're just tickled somebody's killing something because we ain't doing very good right now.
All trophies of me.
No, I got several pictures sent in from the Physically Challenged hunt, and I'm gonna get them on Tyler. And we're gonna
did you get a bunch of pics from out there?
I probably got several come through yesterday. We're gonna get that going and promote that some more.
Heck yeah! I mean, I know they probably work on it year round too.
We're going to get after it this year. We're going to come out early in the year and start pushing it and try to build it up. And
they're going to try to build that bunkhouse so people will have a place to stay.
The building is actually put up. They're wiring it now. And then I'm going to try to get Rob, and me and Brad's going to give him some ideas and pointers. We're going to try to get the bunkhouse finished out so some of the guys got places to stay. It'll be a good deal.
What else y'all got?
And have y'all look? I was looking on TikTok the other day, and this ain't got nothing to do with deer hunting. Have y'all seen this plopper bass lure yet?
The plopper, no.
The plopper.
What does it do?
It's a turd with 2 treble hooks on it.
No, this ain't for real.
Yes, it is. I watched a TikTok the other guy caught a bass with it. So I mean, I just
you got to put that to the test, Mikey. Go ahead and order you up a plopper. We'll see if Tyler order up a plopper.
Order us a plopper. We're gonna feed him, see if we can catch a fish with it. Because I was like,
did he have it on bass rod, or was he throwing on Zebco 33 with it?
No, he had it on the bass rod. He was sitting in the bass boat.
Yeah. Oh, he was in the boat. Okay.
So he held it out, and he was like, I done ordered this thing. It's a plopper. He said, ain't a big old turd with treble hooks. He's gonna see if I can catch a fish with it. And he throwed it out there, and he
have a lip on it or anything. It just floats.
It was just a eye sticking out the end of the turd.
A floater. It's a floater.
He caught a fish on about 3 or 4 pound bass on. I was like, man, I don't know about that one.
Oh, that had to be rigged.
Man, can you imagine that thing had one of the little pockets that you squirt the junk in like those?
Oh yeah, little stinker.
Yeah.
God. I'm missing out on that's. I mean, it's at least a dirty Santa gift. I mean,
that's what I was thinking.
Cost? You think?
I don't know. I didn't get to research. I just seen it last night, and I was like, man, I wonder where he got that thing from. I'm gonna look it up and see where he got it. But it was.
I mean,
I've seen it all, man.
I surround brainstorming all the time on different ideas or business ideas or thoughts or what would be cool and neat. But I've never I'm gonna make a lure that looks like poop and see if it catches fish. And this guy's probably a millionaire already. We probably just made him a couple times talking about it.
Talking about the plopper.
Yeah.
The plopper.
We're gonna have to get somebody a plopper and let them catch fish with it. See if it doesn't work. I like the doesn't work stuff. Yeah, you can't find it. Mikey will find it. You should have texted that to the group, Mikey, so we'd have had that one.
The plopper. I'll send it to y'all.
Well, that's going to do it for us today, guys. Jamie, you want to tell everybody where they can find us?
Shit, you finna put me on the spot, ain't you? That's Mark. Just because I'm in Mark's job, don't know it's spot and I can do his job.
No, it's at Buck Junkies on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. So y'all check it out. We got the podcast on YouTube as well as all your podcast outlets. Y'all can listen to it. Download it. Send in those pics and get in that contest. We're gonna give away some cool stuff.
Yeah, no excuses now. You'll be out for Christmas. You got a couple.
You got plenty of time, and then we'll probably run it again to wrap up deer season. We'll go from like New Year's to the end of our deer season, which is January. So
I don't want to leave out nobody, because some people's stuff runs on in through January. So
that's right. So get those pics in from game trail cams, your harvested animals, or your deer camp recipes. But we'll be back next week to talk more about our favorite thing. That's deer hunting. We gone.